What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. Relax. What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Tuesday night. I hope everyone had a wonderful day. This is the second evening that I've been over here. Let me just get up in here. This is the second evening I've been here. I did coffee talk yesterday evening. It's a different vibe in the evening, and now we're here for this reality recap. Um, some old shows. Bell Collective. We gonna say goodbye. It don't be hard to say goodbye. Did I tell y'all to like the video? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm on my road to 1,000. I'm at 666, I believe. Ooh, that might scare some people. It don't scare me, child. 666 is better than 665 over here. So we trying to, get to 1,000 one subscriber at a time. You know what I'm saying? YouTube just dropped some tea. Let me get over here and talk about a little business. I've been here for a very long time, itching and scooching my way to monetization. And there was a time where I did not feel comfortable talking about it. I didn't come over here asking y'all to like the video. That has changed. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We be over here having conversations about these shows that we like to watch and other things. Especially if you tune into Coffee Talk in the morning. We discuss things other than reality TV and celebrity things. We get informed over there. It's a very educated group of people. You know what I'm saying? I don't name my subscribers. We just folks over here having conversations. So yeah, I'm on my road to 1,000. YouTube, I found out today has, changed their qualifications for new people. And even though I'm not new, I'm not at my 1,000 mark yet. So I got until February, y'all, to like make this thing happen. I'm gonna be working really hard, and to scooch on up to 1,000. I'm ready to get this party started. And when I have incentive, I'm a Capricorn child. If I have some monetary incentive, then I'm gonna be over here doing more and more and more, to make this channel engaging and uplifting and educating and a little bit messy. So on that note, since we talking about mess, let's get into this mess that's Bell Collective. Where they at? Where the bells at? Where the bells at? From the front to back, are you feeling that? No, that ain't the one. You just like, so we good. And you're first. Trey, you be watching the bells and things? I mean, it's all good. I'm irritated because every time I get over here putting these pictures together, I always forget something. But anyway, the bells are right here. We gonna see them, um, in all their good glory. We at the second part of the reunion, and yeah, we done squeeze this thing out as much as we can. This lady, what's her name? Shantae. This lady Shantae is over here still trying to disrupt Tamara's life with this story about the juice man. And it seems like the juice man probably cussed her ass out. That's what it felt like. He told Carlos he tired. He don't want to be in with that lady and whatever mess she got going on. And I don't blame him. I feel like, this man was over here running his business and she pillow talking, which is what he said in that video that she was recording. He pillow talking with her man. Her man that said he messing with somebody. It's just a rumor. You know what I mean? And look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. Oh, that's sweet, Trey. We could be in the conversation. Listen, you'll be able to follow, what's going on over here. So what is going on right now is some messy little outside noise. Let's look at the outside noise right quick so everybody will know who it is. That's weird. That's very weird. Wow. The StreamYard is bugging, so I'm gonna tell you what happened. Took a picture of the outside noise, and then something else popped up over here. Anyway, let me try the outside noise again. I'm not gonna say user error. It ain't me. Okay, this is the outside noise. We didn't discuss their looks. I've already done the other ladies' looks. Amanda Mandy, she killed it. I mean, if she's not a Belle, she's outside noise, but she looks damn at the top of the list with the, who is best dressed out of the Bells? Is it Amanda or all the other Bells? I feel like Amanda might be at the top. I ain't even gonna lie. The shoe, the hair, the makeup, the dress. Amanda came to serve. Amanda, you need to be seen in this dress some more. Now, Shantae, this messy friend of Letitia, she's not giving what she thinks she's giving. You know what I'm saying? It's so unfortunate because this is a beautiful lady, this Shantae. She's like thinking all the right places. Left one, yes, I agree, Trey. Miss Shantae, beautiful face. She got the body, that's like I said, she's luscious. She's sticking all the right places, like Betty Boop style. Both of these ladies, are giving thickness, but in a good way. The top of the dress is ill fitting because she's, bodacious and things. And so there's going to be some spillage when she sits down. The fabric, it's going to be wrinkled. It's looking a little wrinkly. You're going to have to stand still if you want to wear this type of fabric. But she's such a pretty lady to have such a stank ass attitude. I can't stand her attitude. Y'all be getting these tattoos and things, and I don't know what you think you'd be doing, but I mean, then when you have a moment like this, I feel like, and I'm not mad at tattoos, but if I were both of these ladies, I would have just put some cover up. You know what I'm saying? So my tattoos won't be distracting from the gown. But it's neither here nor there. They bought them things. They want to wear them. Who am I? Anyway, Miss Shantae over here, with the bad attitude, she came over here and she's trying to accuse Tambra of having an affair with the juice man. She doesn't care about Tambra's life. She's, got her own thing going on according to her, but she wants to be over here meddling in these people's situation. The juice man said he don't want nothing to do with that. She was over there pillow talking with her man. They spreading rumors around, and whatever receipts that she thought she brought, wah wah wah. It was terrible. Boo! She had terrible receipts. Do I have some booze? I feel like I got booze because if anybody deserves some booze, it's gonna be Shantae. Oh my God! Let's boo her again. Yeah, we don't like it, Shantae. We don't like your receipts. The receipts wasn't receipting. It feels like to me that Shantae, the way she presents herself over here, we're gonna go back to her, the outside noise. It feels like to me, Shantae thinks that because she's Leticia Pearson's friend, and Leticia Pearson is the one, that put these bells together, and she's been sitting around in the background for the last 8 seasons waiting on her moment. She's got her moment, and she's wearing it out, and she's coming for Tambra, who doesn't do anything. But I'm gonna say this, Tambra. Shantae might have done you a favor because the people was trying to throw you out. They had a whole bell meeting and was trying to make you decide is you is or is you ain't. And so it feels like she is, and she even had Greedy Grady come over here and check this lady. And I feel like I feel like he was very pleasant. He did not embarrass us over here when he confronted this lady about spreading any rumors. Ugh. Um. Anyway, she's over here explaining how her and Letitia's friendship works because I think the question was, does Tisha? Do you think she supported you in this first season that you were brought onto the Bells? And Letitia says she'd be doing too much. Letitia sat up there last week. T brought this to my attention. Leticia sat up there last week. I'm the mouthpiece. I don't need no mouthpiece. I'm 10 toes down. Yeah, she did have a scene, when she brought Shantae over here, and what she said was, since Latrice had brought her friend Amanda over here, she brought Shantae over here to have her back, to speak on her behalf. And she's done that the whole time. She came on here to make a boom. I mean, I don't know if y'all are going to keep her around. She stirred things up. She's, sometimes the person you can't stand is the one that comes and makes the most noise, but nobody going to be bothered with her. We'll see. We'll see. She's very out here in these streets running her mouth. Whether she's a belle or not, and she came to spill everybody's tea, all of it. Ooh, her attitude works my nerves. It's like, it doesn't to me feel like tea. It's like it's Jackson. So clearly everybody know everybody. But it seems like the tea she's spilling is like people's business that makes us feel like I don't feel like I need to know everything about your business, every detail. You know what I'm saying? Not in the way the way she sells her receipts are off putting. I'll just put it that way. So Carlos brings out all the husbands because somehow the husbands, Glenn, is also involved with the outside noise. Now, as it stands, Miss Shantae has never liked Glenn. Her and Leticia have been friends for years. She has never liked him. And she had her way, Leticia would have never left. I mean, got married to this guy. I'm not a Shantae fan, but I feel like we all feel the same way about that. Leticia and Glenn. I, at this point, I feel like they're made for each other. Good gracious. Glenn walks in, as he often does, like every season, with sunglasses on. He's always walking in somewhere with sunglasses on. And, for me, there's nothing left to be said. There's nothing left to be said. I'm not walking around with no ninja that take. The sun is out. It's dark. Put them things away. It's not cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when the sun is shining and you need to protect your eyes and you get you some fly sunglasses. That makes sense. When we're sitting out here on this stage, chow. Anyway, they're Versace. His wife said he looks amazing. She think you look amazing, babe. Like she didn't just see him. It's almost like I said it in episode 1, how these two over here are going to figure out a way to like take their marriage all the way down to the divorce court, only to get over to this reunion couch and say they're working on things and they're very happily married ever after. Ugh. It's exhausting. This lady comes over here, with her relationship all tied up in a nice little bow. Glenn is a whole lot of things. Lotus Egyptian flower. Cool is not one of them. Anyway, child, I guess. Let Glenn be cool. What else am I, what can I say? Damon is here. Damon comes through. Him and Tamara are determined. This is the thing. You said you were fighting for your life not to watch this reunion, but I pulled you in. Well, me and El Cid are cousins. Not in real life, but we're YouTube cousins. And so this thing happens where, yeah, you get roped in. What can I tell you? Anyway, sometimes, you get to the reunion and that's really all you need, because one thing that's going to happen over here, uh, Cliff and Latrice are going to act like their marriage is perfect, even though he was slinging her ass around in parking lot a couple of seasons ago, calling her a bitch. But now he's acting like nice grandpa. And so we're going to put all that behind us and act like Sonny and Cher over here are a couple that, couple goals, which, that's a whole nother stupid conversation. But anyway, then you got Glenn and Leticia over here who will come into a situation and, they have to pick up where they left off. They always leave off at rebuilding their marriage and getting things, back in order. And Leticia is going to come with a new job. Glenn, Versace shades, Versace shades, a poem, he might drop a CD or something. Yeah. And in the middle, there's going to be some type of drama. The drama this time is the outside noise. And this outside noise, I believe everything, he said. Anyway, we'll start with Damon. Damon said he does not know Shantae. And he said all that stuff that she's saying is bullshit. I feel like it's bullshit too. I feel like I don't know. She's got a weird little thing for Tamara, who seemingly doesn't bother anybody. And the things that she's trying to uncover, like as if somebody would lie and say their father had a stroke or Alzheimer's. Anyway. He said it's bullshit. We believe it's bullshit. I think, like I said, he was very respectful. He kept like trying to be like, let me don't cuss this lady out because it's not going to be a good look. And all these dudes probably know each other or, are aware of each other because it's Jackson. And, Damon is over here trying to mind his damn business. He don't come up here and do shit with y'all because he's going to be somewhere trying to defend his relationship. And This is the crazy thing. Seems like they have a good relationship. I don't know if they're sleeping with each other, but I think Tambra just may have done a really great job of picking a father for her child, because this dude is over here taking care of the kid. He's present. Whatever their arrangement is, if they're not, that's okay, because all of y'all are, and all of y'all's niggas is out, doing the thing with other people. Golly, Shantae, like it's like she's trying to prove something. We don't know what it is she's trying to prove, child. We don't feel like that Tambra is doing anything over there with the juice man, though. Thank you, girl. Ooh, they are so messy. When in your life have you decided, I'm going to go over to this business, to this establishment, Black-owned establishment, and then take my camera and try to videotape some dude admitting that he's having an affair with somebody that's, works at the station where he's a client? It's all very messy. Ugh. None of those men look faithful. Well, as of now, we ain't heard nothing about Matt. I mean, I don't know how you look faithful, because we know who ain't, and that's everybody but Matt that we know about, and possibly Greedy Grady Damon. He hasn't actually done anything for us to be mad at either, except for not exposing his personal life on this show with these girls. When they say bells, he's like, "Let me get the hell out of here." When he came over here before, when Damon first got introduced to the show, Marie Monroe and Leticia Pearson, quite possibly Latrice. She's messy too. But anyway, no, I don't think Latrice, because Tambra's her friend. So yeah, Marie and Leticia went and found some girl to say that she was in a relationship with Damon, and they tried to play like, is Damon Greedy Grady? They're the same person. They knew exactly what they were doing. And whatever he was doing was not having a relationship with that lady. Damon and Tambra have been friends in and out. They said from the very beginning, we've been in and out for like 15 years. This guy is probably not the kind of man that she wants to be married to necessarily, but clearly he's the kind of man that she wants to have, father her children. So I'm not going to fault her for that, because it seems like Damon is over there being an actual father. And this lady is over here trying to break up people's happy home just because it doesn't fit into whatever narrative she has built up in her head. I don't even know what she's trying to prove. It's weird. She's still out here getting interviewed, child. Since we talking about her, let's see. It's just a clip. I did not listen to that whole interview. I listened to the last interview she did, and she's so unpleasant and she stresses me out. But here she is running her mouth again. Let's see.
And I said something about her daughter. Latrice brought up my daughter, but you don't see that in the reunion.
Oh.
When my daughter passed away, it was a high-profile case. I sat right there and I said, "What did you say?" Because I need you to repeat that. And she repeated it. I said, "That is funny coming from somebody that's actually trying to have a baby." I said, "But why don't you worry about those 8 abortions that you had?"
Oh.
See what I'm talking about? See, what kind of tea is that? Listen, I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, but 8 seems excessive. I don't know if she had any. 8 seems like a large number. And, if you did that, however many, terminations you had for whatever reason, if you did that, why would you be telling all these people? I like this street talking, and you over here exposing it. That don't even make sense. Now you sound like Shamia, girl.
So Latrice said something about your daughter who has passed. She said something about your daughter at the reunion.
Yes. The mics that they put on us are very sensitive.
Oh my God, don't tell me that.
What happened?
Jennifer, are you serious?
The mic picks up nothing because nobody's on that phone. And let's be clear.
Oh my God.
They never played her dad's words.
Nobody heard anything.
Okay, so this irritated the hell out of me. There was a scene where Tamra was in the car with Latrice and Selena, probably. They were in the car together on their way to the coast, and so, Tamara got a phone call saying her father had a stroke. She's saying that we didn't hear that. I feel like probably right. I don't know that they want that moment like in real time played out like her, receiving that information. I feel like yeah, maybe they shot that at a different time. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because you don't know how she reacted when she got that information. You said so story could be real, but the number is a lie. Yeah. And so, but I mean, so you expose this lady for having terminations, and I don't know what that proves. I mean, okay. She said something about your daughter. It was a high profile thing. Not around here, it wasn't. I think, I'm sorry, whatever happened to her daughter, I did not look it up. Because it's just, I just feel like, what are you doing though? I mean, what is your point?
Are you expecting any support from anyone in the collective during this legal battle against Tamra?
Yes. Your mind goes to, oh, I know it's Tisha. Oh, I know it's Marie. If you had a blood clot surgery, why are you walking around in lubricant? Teresa.
If you had a blood clot surgery, why are you walking around in Louis Vuittons? Listen, I feel like they said something to her about that. I feel like they said something to her about that during the season. Because some people do stuff they're not supposed to do. They don't take, health scares seriously. That's why diabetics keep eating chocolate cake. At least my mother did, child. You could say chocolate cake and she'd know better. People do things that they're not supposed to do as it relates to their health. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she's a glamour girl. And somebody told her that. Like again, I'm not sure what's the point. Are you talking about at the reunion where she walked from the back to the front? No, that was the fibroid surgery. So yeah, I'm like, okay. Her tea always come with a question mark.
I'm scared too because Cliff is my cousin.
What?
Jackson is small now.
While Tamara was saying, I said something about her daughter.
Child, so Cliff is her cousin. That's her big kawaii. Please know, please understand. Um, None of my cousins know my business, so that means nothing. And I don't know theirs. You know what I'm saying? I have T, that's my niece. That's, the person, that I confide in about things. But I mean, Cliff is her cousin, and girl, so what? Ooh, I don't know. If they bring her back, I don't know. She's irritating as hell to me, child. Um, but she don't know how to do receipts, and I don't know, her and Latrice and Leticia, and Marie, the way they dig around in people's life. Tamara doesn't do that. Selena doesn't do that. Selena is literally out in Lululand. Um, Latrice, I feel like she will do it, but it's because you did some shit first. I don't think she starts it. I think she finishes it. And Carrie just be running her mouth. That's all. So Glenn at some point, hey T, I was just literally talking about you. Are your ears burning? You're playing your lottery online. I should do that. I need money. Anyway, Glenn at some point, okay, over at that party, the grand opening, a lot of shit went down over there at that grand opening. So Big Willie and Akeisha was over there fighting with Glenn. And Glenn, when did you get in the car with Amanda? After Willie and them left? He gets in a fight over there at Taste grand opening. And, the people leave or what have you. But when the party continued, you went outside and got in a car with Amanda. And Latrice told Amanda to get her ass out that car because it was making Leticia feel away. You told her that? I did. I mean, girl, I feel like anybody would say that because Amanda's my friend. And girl, can you get out of the car with this lady's husband? This is embarrassing. I think Latrice told her that because Amanda was over here embarrassing her. So, a lot of shit was going down over at that taste grand opening. Woo, too bad them camera was down. They would have caught Glenn in the car with the possible. He told her, he asked her something about be doing a threesome. And did I ever come to you, Leticia, to Amanda? Have I ever come to you and asked you anything about any threesome or doing anything, sexual related? And Amanda's like, your husband did. Oh my God. He sure did. I believe it. Strolling through the hit the like. Thank you, Elsa. Your people is in here. We were talking about you. I'm going to tell on her. Lotus Egyptian Flower said you be having her over there watching things that she didn't intend to watch. Me too, Lotus Egyptian Flower. I sat up here and watched these doggone Married at First Sights. And I'm not reviewing it. So I'll just hang out over there, and let Elsa talk about it. Oh, she see what you said. Anyway, I'm going back over here. Look at me out here in these streets acting like Shantae, spreading people's business. Anyway, Latrice definitely told Amanda to get out that car. She said he told her she wasn't going nowhere because he be running things. He did, and he do run it. That's what he said. He told her she wasn't going no Micka Flicka where because he be running things. You know what I'm saying? And so she was sitting up in that car, and Leticia, was over there acting like she didn't see it. I knew about that day. I don't even understand that. I said I was acting like this. It's because I'm watching Bell Collective, Lotus Egyptian Flower. They got me acting out of character. I won't do it anymore. I'm gonna check myself. My fingers were crossed. Anyway, yeah. This guy is over here running things, and Leticia is over here acting like she didn't see it. So I could see it all very clearly. That him and Cliff was over there getting towed up because they thought they ran Big Willie out of town. And Leticia and Latrice was over there, getting all celebrating because they thought they ran Aikisha off the show. And since they were so preoccupied, at some point, Glenn slid his ass off and got in the truck. Whose truck? His truck? I'm trying to understand, like, what was I going to do if I'm at a bar somewhere? We're at a bar. We're hanging out, right? And I look up and my man is in the truck with somebody else, and I'm supposed to do what? Be like, I told him to get in there. Who did she tell to get in the car? Amanda? They need to stop. If you told her to get in the car with your husband, then I believe you were over there trying to get a threesome with that lady. Y'all are all the bones came flying out of the closet during this one. You said she knew about Amanda. She just didn't want her on the show putting them on blast. Well, and I mean, child, Amanda is not innocent in any of this, but she didn't have to go looking for it. She didn't have to go to nobody's establishment and secretly record anything. She was in the truck with the man, in front of the restaurant. Amanda, your choices are questionable. Let's look at these Jezebels again. Your choices are very questionable. The decisions you be making, all this cheating around and stuff. Talking about you like women, but you like men because, and you like them a little ugly. These ladies are very pretty. I'm just saying. Bell Collective got an attractive cast. Y'all is going back and forth, and I'm over here being in business. They thought they did their big one. You talking about the outside noise? Anyway, child, let me get back on track because this is just the first stop. What about that baby? Oh, before we get to the baby, Tisha admitted to having a threesome for her birthday, for her 25th birthday. She sat up here and she wants us to believe that she requested this. And we don't know who was the threesome, but Shantae said it wasn't her. And now they're sitting here in real time saying opposite answers. Have you ever like had a threesome or introduced, thought about that? Glenn, oh no. If I could do a threesome, well then I wouldn't have been in all this trouble that I'm in. 2 minutes later, well, we did have a threesome. Did you? Carlos was like, with a boy or with a girl? Oh, well, I'm not telling all that. We know it wasn't no girl. I mean, we know it wasn't a boy. And the way Glenn jumped off that sofa, like, oh no, that's not what we were doing. Ugh. From the beginning, Letitia been saying she knew about the text and everything. I mean, she said she sent that man over to get in the truck. So did you send him to the truck to go try to solicit a threesome with this lady? I don't know. I'm confused. And yeah, then Glenn, why are you, trying to run off so much? He don't be wanting you there, Letitia. Is that and I think Marie Monroe be catching the heat that Leticia should be getting. All the ladies look nice. However, the Lord of the Chicken Wing, yeah, she's the only one. She's the only one. The Lord of the Chicken Wing. That's what it looked like. So yeah, what about the baby? I hate this conversation because it seems like all this, chatter back and forth about this baby. Um, Everybody knew about it. Everybody knew about it. It was from a post, on Facebook or wherever it was posted at. And she's like, who brought it to the collective? Like, it's a conversation. If there's a rumor about a baby, then, and you're getting married, I feel like that's going to come up. I feel like that's going to come up. People are going to be like, so whatever happened with the baby? And when there's a baby rumor, they most certainly, they creep around the streets. And the way that man was crying at the altar, I feel like, was he crying because he was like, oh, dear Jesus, thank you. You didn't leave me because I, could have possibly fathered a child with some other woman. Carlos was messy trying to hem up Glenn. Glenn hemmed himself up. He hemmed himself up. That's what he get for lying. You know what I'm saying? He just said, yeah, if there was another dude in the picture, we know that's not what it is because, Glenn is very toxic, masculine energy, gender roles type. He's an old fashioned Southern man that thinks his woman is supposed to stay at home while he philanders around the streets. And gets irritated when he's punished for it. You said, I don't see Glenn as a gay man. He loves women too much. I don't know. The people was trying to say him and Cliff was over there bumping uglies, but I don't know what those people are doing. I don't, I think these are very old school people over here, country, So heck no, he wasn't gonna sit up there and say it was a man. He wouldn't for many reasons, but yeah. He just sat up there lying, saying, oh no, I haven't done that. And, have you? I don't know if they still have. I don't know if they have or not. I feel like it's possible that this lady is over here, trying to make it seem like she's okay with, you know what I'm saying? Trying to cover up the rumors. Yeah. What's her name? Selena. Selena, the baby rumor did you a favor because, aside from the wedding, you had nothing else going on. You had nothing else going on except, oh my God, this wedding thing has me so stressed out. We know you went to go get your teeth done, which I can't tell the difference, but okay. And you don't take your blood pressure medicine. So if you don't take your blood pressure medicine, then you are for real in Dipsy Hipsy Highway. You are definitely somebody who is removed. Like, it's giving Chrissy Snow. If you know anything about Three's Company, that's what Selena just be offering. Like I said, Ipsy Dipsy Lane. Poor baby. Beautiful gowns. Latrice wants a baby. That was her storyline. She did get the fibroids removed. I feel like if she got the move, and then she might be moving forward to trying to have a baby for real. Um, Cliff can sit up there and say all that stuff he wants to say, but he won't take care of a baby. No way. If she has one, then Latrice is not going to sit still. She might sit still a little bit, but they got enough money to handle that situation. Um, Cliff is an old dude, like he got some dusty baby gravy. It's a little powdered up. So I don't know, like, if that's gonna work in your favor. It seems like y'all got a lot working against you. Somehow I feel in the back of my head, I hear what's the name? Maybe God is trying to tell you something. That was mean. But it's the truth, child. This conversation about babies, you got blood clots and things, that ain't nothing to mess with. Just be an auntie. Just be a TT. Um, Tisha and Glenn in the prenuptial agreement. Raise your hand if you're shocked that they haven't signed the prenup, child. And this really irritated me because they all sat up there and, here I am like caping for Leticia, but sometimes, they sitting up here trying to make her feel some type of way because she wants to have a post-nup. You said you'll be nervous for that baby? I didn't even think about that. Um, that baby would be with her mother, who I don't. It's not going to happen. We giving her a baby that she's probably. I mean, I don't want to say nothing that will jinx her life. That's not, or put negativity towards her life. But I just don't think that that's what she really wants for real. So we'll see. We'll see. When she pops up pregnant, then that's when I will change my mind. What was I saying? The post nup. They sat up there trying to make Leticia feel away about Glenn. He's taken care of you your whole life. All these years, he's taken care of you. He didn't ask you for nothing. All you got to be a stay-at-home mom with your kid. And yeah. And then when he left her, or when they broke up, for pretend, she went to her mama's house because she got mad. She had to show him something, because he might have had a baby. But once she found out that that wasn't the truth, then she had to punish him. And they played that we're separated thing, and he would chase her around and show up at places because he was GPSing her. It's weird. Their relationship is weird. I still don't think, like, when they broke up, she said she only had $4 in her account. Like, so I need to make sure that I'm going to be okay. I feel like that's an okay thing to say. So had you not done that, I might not feel this way. He did take care of me, but then when he did something to me and I walked away, she works at the damn bail bondsman. Girl, why don't you have some money? Like, any kind of money? $4? Why would a traditional man sign a post-nup? He hasn't signed it. That was just there, as she walked around this season looking for, what does she call it? Financial independency. I'm looking for financial independency. So I went down to a financial advisor. She came over here with clipboards and teams and management teams. You know what I'm saying? The photo shoots and the talk shows. And, she had a lot going on this season, as she normally does. She allegedly had some brunches. Anyway, yeah, no, he's not. That was a slow chase. Woo, he's not gonna sign it. So, they're on to, working on their relationship, child. This is what they do. We go on this roller coaster, and when they were over here this season with all of that nonsense, we were like, Tisha, shut up. Anyway. And Glenn over there like, we can get a divorce. I don't believe him either. Everybody wants to say she won't let him go. It seems like they won't let each other go. They're over there being a hot mess together. Yeah, I've been taking care of you for all these years. So shut up. So what's next for Leticia Pearson? They sure like brushed over that. Like, I wonder, she is really gonna be irritated because they finished off the episode with Carrie and her whole family. She was sitting up there looking stuffed like a turkey with a wing coming out of her neck. Um, what's next for Leticia? She says she's still a bail bondsman, and so she's still doing that. And she's her talk show. She's in collaboration with people who are professional and know what they're doing. And I'm like, what the hell? What does that mean about the team you had? Like, does that mean you got a different team, or you just sat up there and said your team was not professional? What about the investor? I love it when people say sentences that don't actually give you any information. But okay, girl, she's over here collaborating with professional people that know what they're doing. And she's a Bills bondsman. And this year's new job, drum roll. I think there's a drum roll. I know there's a drum roll. Oh, I'm over here playing and I done did too much, but I'm going to get to the drum roll for real, for real. So she's over here with a new job and she's going to become a licensed general contractor. She's already taken one test, and so she needs y'all to pray for her that she gets on to, the second step for her contractor situation. Child, one thing she's going to do is come up with a new job. So this is what we have to do. We have to go through, their break. And when they come back, because they'll probably get another season. This was a decent season. I wasn't mad at it. I'm talking a lot of smack, but, there's some things that took place over here. Anyway, we're going to come back next season and her and Glenn will have been working on things, but then, we don't know. Shantae might be in the middle of whatever her and Glenn got going on. I'm working on my skills, Lotus Egyptian flower. Anyway, she she comes back over here with a new job. So we got to wait until next season and they'll come back and, we don't know what the setup will be. Like I said, it might be Shantae interfering in their relationship, but they'll have to have some kind of conflict in their relationship that, will be resolved by the end of the season with, something, hopefully not a song or a poem. But yeah, we'll see if she's doing the contractor thing because they went with Pearson and he bought a truck and they were going to be doing, a trucking company with their one truck. And we went over there and there was no license, no insurance, no nothing. So we'll see. She passed her test, which means nothing. People be walking around with real estate license and ain't sold nothing. You have pulled a new viewer. I hope so. I hope it's a few hundred of them, real quick. Like, anyway, Matt and Carrie and their mother-in-law drama. Marlene says she did not want Carrie for her son. She said Carrie was older, more mature. Carrie's only a year older, but we're going to run with whatever we could come up with. She said she was over there trying to run him down and he couldn't focus on baseball. And apparently Matt had a very successful baseball career. Carrie didn't get in the way of that. His career ended over an injury. So I'm not sure how we're going to make Carrie the reason why. She's one of them boy moms that be doing too much. She said, what did she say? Miss Marlene said that Carrie was running around after him. And Miss Eleanor jumped in and she was pointing her finger. She was like, oh, no, friend, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. She was not chasing him. These mamas gave me everything I needed. If you didn't watch any of the series, any of this season, you can catch the last 10 minutes of this daggone episode. And it was so funny. The mothers was hilarious. Two of them. It was the light-skinned ladies, the Creole ladies. Matt's mama was sitting up there with that crown on her head. Carrie's mother is not to be messed with. I see how come Carrie is like she is. Yeah, Carrie says she didn't stand in the way of his career. She says she was actually, after his, injury, convincing him. She's the one that kind of pushed him in the direction of being, on the business side. And look at what he's doing now. He still gets to be in the field that he loves, baseball, and make money at it. And clearly he's doing okay because he just started his own, you know what I'm saying, a baseball management company. So, the people know him. I don't watch baseball, Matt, but it's fine. He looked like a baseball player. Um, I don't know. His mother is just, wants Matt to be. She doesn't want to let her son go. You supposed to hand him off to his wife, Marlene. Oh, you said, thank God they aren't my mother-in-law. I don't know how. I don't know. I feel like Matt and Carrie's mother gets along fine. It's his mother and I feel like Matt low key like enjoys the attention, the tug and the pull between the mamas. So I think he likes it. He thinks he likes them fighting over him. Um, Now that I see like what Carrie was going through and losing her restaurant and the pressure of all of that, and I'm sure that put pressure on their relationship. They were, I'm sure, fighting with each other behind closed doors. He trying to switch his job. She's, dealing with what she's dealing with. They got kids. Nobody wants your mama coming over here telling me how I don't be at home and I don't cook. And who cooking for her son. And, you need to get the hell out of here. And Eleanor, Carrie's mama, she said, you don't even be up here. You be talking all that smack. Like, if you really felt that way, then you could bring your ass over here to Biloxi and help out. And Miss Marlene was like, what are you drinking? Ooh, this was my favorite part of the daggone reunion. That was funny. Miss Eleanor said that Matt and Carrie have a good marriage, and Miss Marlene is a busybody lady, and she be getting in their business, and she gets in the business of the other sons. So I don't, them mamas, yeah, yeah, she's a busybody lady. So they close them on out. Mike and Selena are looking for their forever home, and yeah, I hope they find it. I guess. Oh, Selena. And then Tambra, she's still doing radio. She says she's a journalist for a crime series show. I don't know, where it's being streamed, but I mean, that's interesting. At least she see how people be over here doing things, Leticia, and like in real life. She says she's doing work with HBCUs. I hope Tambra can bring some of that, to the collective. If y'all gonna have her over here, all of this stuff is stuff that I feel like we should be seeing like some of. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we can't do all of it, but let's see what Tambra is doing over here at the HBCUs, and take the cameras on down there, and we could get a little snippet of that. We don't need a whole bunch of Shantae following people around, creepily at the juice bar with her camera phone filming sideways. Dr. Marie Monroe, she says she a real doctor, not an honorary. I mean, was that a shot as Dr. Cheyenne? I don't know, but if it wasn't, it sure feel like it. She's celebrating Hamilton Davis's 25th anniversary, and then she gonna retire. I guess, Marie, she keeps saying that. Retire means from that business. I don't know who she gonna hand it to, but hopefully not to that son that's over there trying to turn it into a dispensary. Carrie Paul says she's over here doing, she says she believes in collaboration over competition. I love that. I think that's, that's how you grow. You know what I'm saying? She said she wants to collaborate with all the ladies, all the belles she wants to collaborate with, even Marie Monroe. Oh, now that'd be funny watching them two arguing back and forth. Marie, I hate that she put those two little things on her titties. They're so distracting. Everybody looks so nice, and they're cross-eyed. Like, why you make them cross-eyed? Sorry, my grandson is upset. She's woke him up, and now he's distracting me. She says she already collaborated with Selena on the coast, and they're doing a wellness brunch. I like that idea. She says she want to help Selena. Carrie, I feel like people have tried to help Selena, but Selena, girl. I came across this before we switch over to the Housewives of Atlanta. Let me see, because they did a brunch. And it's so funny because when they do these collaborations, look at her, child. She over here in her leopard print dress. You can't tell me she don't want to be a belle. She wants to be the belle if that's the last thing she do for her life. Um, I just seen it. Why? What is happening? Doggone it. I'll just go over here. I know I just seen the brunch. So Tambra and Selena and Tambra, Selena, and Latrice had a brunch. I was like, and I don't see what's her name nowhere. Here's the invitation. They had the flyer put out. It's a uh thundering taste. I don't know, a brunch that is, what is it for? Grab your bestie and come celebrate National Friendship Day with us. There's some people missing. I wonder, is Leticia thinking that they should have included her in this brunch because she's the reason for the bells, because she stand on that. This was the 2nd of August they had this brunch together, and I noticed that there's no support from what's her name, Leticia. I seen, it wasn't this picture, but Carrie always, she supports everyone in their social media. But here they are over at the brunch. I was like, this is funny. Like, what does that mean for next season? I wonder, like, how Leticia, like I said, is going. It's cute. It's one of those Sunday fun day type of situation. Mimosas over here. You got Tambra on the mic. So, she's the daytime diva. So she keeping the party crunk. Everybody look at these. Nice professional crowd. This is a good promotion for Taste. Because it's not, people at 2:00 in the morning riding down the street. Cute. I don't know who the lady is in the pretty sundress, but you got Tambra and Latrice and Selena all in this one. Um, yeah, I don't know who that girl is, but her dresses and everything. This look like it. Oh, we ain't gonna do that, Tambra. She have them singing love. Yeah, looks like a fun little event. Like I said, oh, see, Carrie Paul over here, you know, supporting, not being a hater like other people. I don't see Marie too much doing anything. Marie, you got the most followers of anybody. Their food probably hot. You mean spicy? Where did the proceeds go? I don't know, guys. I wasn't there. I just know they threw a brunch for friendship. Oh. No, I did not see Leticia go over there. I did not see Marie go over there. No, I seen the flyer, and I seen the flyer before the event. So I knew about it. I had to wait and see the pictures afterwards. But that's how they doing over there, child. That's it for the bells. So, yeah, I think, they ended on a good note. Oh, what does it say? Latrice, I didn't finish wrapping up these last two. Latrice wants to take a step back and focus on her health. I think that's what she should do. Honestly, I feel like if you're over here having surgery, she's a young woman, and blood clots, that's very serious. So yeah, she need to take a step back and figure out what she want to do. Leticia Pearson said she is going to be rebuilding with Glenn. That's what's going to be happening over the next couple of few months or so. So that's it for the bells. Let's get into these darn housewives. I don't really have too much. This first episode of the Housewives was um we start with Phaedra. We find out Phaedra had a meeting with Jasmine Crockett, and that's all we know about it because we didn't get to see it. I don't see Phaedra as a politician, so yeah, it would have been interesting to hear what Jasmine Crockett had to say, but I think Bravo was not trying to get involved in anything that Jasmine Crockett had to say. Sorry, it feels like my light went off over here. It's probably time. I'm not even gonna say it out loud. Um, Drew is fresh off the operating table. She looked like it. Her face is swollen. No wonder why they have complications. They go get all this work done and be out in the street at restaurants filming. She is fresh off the daggone operating table, cheeks full. And this is just the introduction. This was annoying. I'm looking at what y'all had to say. Um, not stop frying sausage in hot oil. Ooh, that was so nasty. Um, you said that was a meeting in Phaedra's mind. Listen, I don't really want to see Phaedra. We're scamming ass niggas at. That's what I think when I see Phaedra. She don't even know what kind of lawyer she is, but it would have been interesting to hear that conversation because there was a lot of silly conversations going on over here. Um, Andy asked her like, "Is she okay?" She said her booty ain't leaking. So as soon as we get here, shots fired. She want to go straight for K Michelle's booty. K Michelle said your mouth is. I was like, oh, okay. 1 point for K Michelle. She came back real quick with that one. Not your mouth leaking, child. Um, Pinky says she does not want to talk about bankruptcy anymore. She wants to just talk about her baby. So yeah, since Claudia went and announced the damn thing, it was like wah because we've been new. Um, this reunion, the housewives submitted questions to each other. I don't care because half the times these questions be kind of stupid. They don't get to. Every now and then you'll get a good question, but the questions that I feel like they don't pick good questions. Let me put it that way. They pick weird ass questions. How can Drew afford surgery but not an apartment for her and her son? Good question. I believe the answer is because the surgery was free. I think that she got this work done, and the trade off was, promotion. So she's actually just working for this person to show off her new booty. So if you want a new booty that looks like Portia's booty, you could go over to where, what's his name? Drew went. Pinky, Fawn, and Wendy go to jail. We don't want to send Pinky to jail. Relax, Lotus Egyptian Wendy. Oh, you talk about Wendy over there, at the whiskey farm. We don't want Pinky to go to jail. It wasn't her fault. It was them other people's fault. She had people, what'd you call it? Extorting, not extorting. What did he call Robin's hats? Y'all know how my brain goes. Anyway, um, Drew says she's officially divorced and her and Black are still just friends. I can't tell by the way she's standing on business about Black. I think if I were Drew, I would separate myself from him so fast because you got enough going on. And if the man is shady, why would you bring him over? Why are you bringing men in general over on this platform? I feel like I don't know. I feel like Portia brought what's his name over here just to, act for a little while she tried to woo Sway away from that lady that she was engaged to. So clearly there's a real relationship. So yeah, Mike was over here just as a distraction. I don't know what K Michelle was bringing Black over here for. I think it's silly to be out here like we're just friends. Men don't hang around you to be your friend, first of all, not at this big old age. And if you're in the middle of divorce, girl, you losing custody of your kids and stuff like that. Having Black around just seems like a waste of time, only to find out he's a shyster. You just giving now Ralph can be like, I don't know what he's over there doing, but he's not going to be around my kid. And why, for the love of God, did you bring that man over here that brought that horse over in what's the name's house? Shamia's house. K Michelle said Black takes advantage of Black women, and that's why she didn't want to be associated with him. Now, I think I've heard people say she didn't know. This didn't come out in the blogs. I don't think that's where she got it from. I don't think she got it from the blogs. I think K Michelle was like, "Oh, I know Black" in the beginning because everybody knows Black. So I know Black. He was in my DMs, and then she got this promotion. I don't know for sure. I haven't checked the timeline. This is just my assumption. Then she got this promotion with that lady, and that lady was over there telling her how Black is a shyster. She owed him money. And so then K Michelle tried to backtrack. She couldn't say that. So she came up with all these reasons why she didn't want to be associated with Black. She made herself look so stupid defending Black and discrediting the woman that he scammed. And there's others. There's not even just one. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's not everybody, but I have heard people say, "Okay, Michelle, you didn't even know about that. You were you know, it came out in the blogs that it had already filmed, but I don't think that's what it was. I don't, like I said, think she got it from the blogs. I think she got it from that lady. And because it hadn't been proven or court order, papers hadn't been filed, she couldn't come over here and say that. So she just had to like figure out a way to be like, don't say my name when you say Black's name. So yeah, anyway, I feel like a little bit better. If that's how if that's how it worked out, then it makes things make sense. Because we were like, "Hey, Michelle, you brought Black up," and then you try to say you don't know him. Everybody knows him, and if he walks around there looking like, I'm not even gonna say it because it's so politically incorrect. Anyway, Drew pulls out a clapper. She's going back and forth with K Michelle, defending this clown, embezzling. That's the word I was thinking of. This clown that's over here embezzling money. And yeah, anyway, it's not a good look. She pulls out this clapper. She pulls out a clapperboard like the directors use when they say cut. She's screaming cut. And they're like, "Oh my God, that's so funny." That was so corny. Every prop that Drew has ever brought to set has been stupid. She throw doggy treats and, all kinds of nonsense. Who was the one throwing the wig? No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. It won't age well. Where's El Cid? You're trying to get me in trouble. This is why I tell on you. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I didn't think that was funny. Drew says they need to they need to stop going after each other in this sisterhood. I don't want them to say sisterhood no more. I do not want them to say that on any of these shows because this is what the hell is a sisterhood? Even the sisters over there on the Braxtons don't sister. Kardashians over there punching each other. Ooh, just stop saying that. Kelly said, "That's funny coming from you since you went over to my business trying to tear me down." You know what I'm saying? And, she went over to the store. "Oh my God, it's closed. We were just here. What's going on? I really wanted some waffles." She thought it was funny. And we're like, she went all the way to Sandy Springs. Where does she live? She can't get her kids to school, but she can go over to Sandy Springs to make a video. And that's that lady's real business. At the end of the day, Kelly is going through a divorce. Her ex-husband, got her in a chokehold. The money is real funny. She's trying to still live this fake lifestyle. "I've always been rich. I've always had this. I've always had that." I guess, girl. I guess. We don't know that. I don't know that. She said, "I went to the same school as," what's his name? Hudson. I don't even know why I went there. This is the things that she was saying though on Carlos King's interview. I've always been rich. I've always driven these kinds of cars, and that may be true. But she's in the middle of a divorce, and she been borrowing money, according to Angela, who dug up the information is probably accurate. But Angela, there's some allegations out there about you too. So I don't know. Don't be surprised next season if they have dug it up because everybody else has. At the end of the day, I done lost my whole track of thought. Drew, I'm talking about Drew. At the end of the day, yeah, Drew, it just seemed a little silly, but y'all going back and forth. So I can't say, it's just another one of those things I feel like that Drew did that just didn't land. It just like the clapper, like it just didn't land like how she thought it was gonna land. So yeah, they going back and forth about you can't be mad at me. You were talking about my business, and Kelly was like, I was promoting your music, so let's don't say that. Um she said, I supported it. I posted it, you reposted it. And I guess Portia said it was probably delusional. I'm sure. I'm sure it was. I'm sure there was shade. Um, then Drew calls her, what she call her? Shamelly? Shamelly. She somehow intertwined Kelly's name with Shamia. And I was like, why you do that? I guess she's on. Kelly says she had a P. Willie special and does. This is the thing. I don't think Kelly is over here defending Shamia's bullshit. I think she's standing by her friend as she's supposed to. I've heard her like tell Shamia the truth, like, forget them people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Kelly doesn't get penalized for being a good friend. And I feel like that's what she did for Shamia. Kelly stayed in Shamia's house. That's what you're supposed to do when you got it like that. You know what I'm saying? So she going through a divorce. Her money is funny. She still want to spend like she want to spend, but she can't do that. Drew, you don't have no money either. So I don't even know why the two people in what's her name? Pinky too. Having money fights is stupid. Angela, only ones that's not having money fights is Shamia and Portia. K. Michelle's not fighting about money, but she got other shit she's worried about. I like how Kelly shows up for Shamia, so yeah. It's definitely not giving lapdog. Drew says she doesn't think anybody should be over here body shaming. And I'm like, that's the first thing that came out of your mouth. You came straight over here talking about leaky booty. They have pulled out pictures of Drew and her before pictures. And now, like, she's sitting up here swole to the gods. So if she just got her surgery done, for her to say she ain't leaking, I don't believe her. I feel like she probably is. I feel like she's still probably in that stage of things because that booty was sitting up very high. I guess the whole booty thing. If that's what you want to spend your money on, K. Michelle is too happy to be listed at 48. She is or she isn't. She's listed at 48. Is that good or no? I don't know. I guess that's the top 50, so that might be a big deal. I don't know. I didn't listen to Whiskey and Jesus. I didn't know it came out yet. Anyway, Kelly says she's never got her body done. And she said, because Drew was like, let me see you post a picture of yourself naked. And they was like, she liked to be naked, so that's not going to be an issue. And she said, I never had my body done. She said she only got her boobs done. And what did Drew say? You should get them undone. Ooh, 2 points for Drew. That shit was funny. What'd you say? Why didn't Andy get on Drew for not talking about her real life instead of, and we found out and via the blogs. And that's what was very irritating because she kind of wrapped it all up at the end of the season, but she could have very well talked about, we had that one scene with her and her mother, when she was crying, talking about what she's been going through, how hard the whole thing has been. But, Drew, she be acting so much. I can't tell when you have a mama that don't be around to even get their kids to school and stuff. I find it hard to believe that she's this broken up about the situation. I think she's acting real good, like she's broken up. The only part that probably bothers her is that she's got to pay him child support. But at the end of the day, I don't really think Drew wants to take care of them kids like that. She wants to be a superstar off, you know what I'm saying? having other people do it. And if you got 15 people on your squad and you can't get one of them, what are all these assistants for that they can't take? But I mean, I guess their job isn't to wake them up and get their teeth brushed and stuff. You might need a nanny or something. Jesus. You said that's good considering they don't want us over there. That's why I said 50 is pretty good. That's the top 50 for somebody who, and she still got time to, rise up the charts a little bit because it just came out. Anyway, Kelly got her titties done and she about to topple over. So she might want to go get her redone. While she talking about Drew, she might want to go, yeah. Drew says she could give you the doctor's number. Girl, consider taking it. Angela versus Pinky. I mean, we don't have to go back to that fight. We were there the first time. It was embarrassing, to be honest. Pinky getting up and sitting back down was not iconic. Incestuous commingling teeth was funny, but when the lady's teeth ain't incestuous or commingling, then it's kind of not funny. Like, you just said some shit out your ass, and nothing wrong with that lady's teeth. You got your teeth done, and she did not. Everything on Pinky is natural. Her teeth are pretty. She's not got a big horse ass like Portia. And now, what's her name? Drew. Another thing, Drew. Portia's a tall lady. I feel like she's tall enough. I don't know. That ass is ridiculous. And she went and did that to herself. Anyway, I feel like they were like, who won the argument? The commingling teeth thing, like in the moment it hit, I would say Angela won the argument, but Pinky won the season because through the season, Pinky just kept getting better and better. She turned into a person that didn't take any sides really. She said it like she mean it, and yeah, she wasn't like irritating like how Angela was over here making up shit. I hope she doesn't keep doing that because, I liked Angela last season, but I wasn't feeling her all this season. Portia and her dating life. Sway has Portia ready to ascend. Isn't that what Jesus did? I don't know what ascend. I don't know what Sway got her ascending to, but, she's out. She's proud. I'm glad she got her little rainbow. I think Mike is a non-make-it-flick-it factor. I think Mike came over here, because, people think he's fine. None of us that watch Ready to Love want to see Mike. I don't watch Country Wayne. I don't know what he's doing over there. He's never been funny. So, if that's what, this was supposed to be. And now that we know he dated Phaedra, so he just be over here, one of these housewives chasers. With Beijing on his beard. Thank you, Mike. Have a nice day. It's going to be Sway. That's what she said. She didn't even tell him. She let him see it on the internet. You know why? Because they weren't in a relationship. Drew and her divorce. Ralph has primary custody. We talked about that. Ralph has primary custody, so she got to pay him child support. She says she can't talk about it, but Phaedra went ahead and broke it on down because Phaedra is a lawyer of all things. She's a child support lawyer. What do they call it? Family practice. She's you call it district attorney. She's just all the kinds of prosecutor, defense attorney. She does all the things. Portia has the same speech for everybody. Yes, every time Portia finds she just is so in love. Portia is a Pisces. She has to be because Pisces do that. They really fall in love like that. Yeah, they just be, and then you live in a fantasy world. I know my daughter goes around like you could go to the Dollar General or Dollar Tree and some lady will have on pink eyeshadow and it's glittering and you're looking at the lady like you look a fool. And my daughter will be like, oh, it's so pretty. And I'm like, girl, that is not pretty. Portia owes Simon. No, she doesn't owe him. Let me go ahead and pull that up. She doesn't owe him. What had happened was he turned over the Rolls Royce and some other things to her, and he has a lien on the house. So basically, his lawyer fees are no longer his problem. His lawyer fees are now Portia's problem. So let's see. Oh, child, these loud children. She She ain't even crying. She just making noise. Okay, here it is. It says, it looks like things are finally ending in Portia Williams' divorce battle with Simon Guobadia. According to documents reviewed by TMZ, Portia shared um, did a quick claim. Oh, she shared that Simon did a quick claim deed and went ahead and transferred his remaining interest in the Atlanta home over to Portia. His remaining interest, that means she has to pay for that part. He no longer has a hold on it. He apparently also agreed that from his part of the home equity, his ex is due 1,568 181 in reimbursement. He apparently even threw in a title to the 2021 Rolls Royce. So yeah, 1 million, but I think he owed a lawyer that much. So this opens the gate for Portia to do whatever she wants with the home. She can sell it and he can't get in the way of if he chooses. The terms were agreed to under oath on the 5th of August, according to the documents. Um, Yeah, he here, you can have it. He can't do nothing with it. But yeah, if she sells the house, like she's got to pay his bills, his equity. He's handing that over to her, but what does the housing market look like? What is the profit really going to be? You said he plays the same role in Country Mike scripts and he played in on Roa. Oh, he's just the handsome boyfriend with the Beijing beard. Yeah, so she got Simon's bills, just like she said. Not all his bills, but she got the house. So, hopefully, she can break even. But the way this economy is working is we'll see. We will see. And if not, she gonna have to pay for that on her own. She says she's in Forbes list. She's got go naked hair going everywhere, so she should be fine. Um, Kelly refers to Portia's house as Simon's house. Portia said, "You can't worry about Simon's house when you're living in Shamia's house." And Kelly says she's only been over there for 2 weeks before she moved in her house. So, yeah, Kelly been over there dancing around and trying to figure her situation. She's trying to explain it in a way that makes it seem like she can still do all the things at the same time, but clearly she can't. But she's not willing to calm down a bit, downsize a bit. You paying, all this money for a Range Rover, girl. All this Atlanta is like that. Like these ladies will go broke trying to, look like they doing something they're not actually doing. Um, it's a lot of arguing about whose houses and whose names. I hate that argument because, like I said, they're all over here. Angela went and bought a house in a ditch that she's renting out, and that's about all she's gonna be able to do with it. Nobody wants that damn house in a ditch. But so her business is all a mess. She just has Charles, so we know what they're saying about Charles, and I feel like it's probably true. So there's that. Um, Charles probably ain't going nowhere though. He's like, I'm in it now. He done sat up there and said she had to drug him to get him to marry her, all kinds of stuff. So we don't know what's going on with that. I could show y'all the Fangela. Since she came over here, she don't have nothing else going on anyway. So here's the Fangela, y'all. And she went and did all of that dark photo shoot and everything just for her to come do AI. She didn't even have to leave the house for this. I don't know why she did this. Here's her Fangela. I'm not playing the music because I don't want to get in trouble, but she's standing in the woods with a fan. I don't know why she needed, but that fan blew the trees over. And the way they wear wigs, it's not even, it just say Fangy. It don't even, now she's James Bond. I think they're playing James Bond music. Her and Charles. Charles at least shows up. I'm going to give him credit for that. He over there, he like, I'm fine. I'll do it. Now she's Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I don't have any hair to do Beyonce moments, so I don't need that. Anyway, yeah, so that's all she got going on. She went over there. I'm like, you didn't even. You mean you sat down and did an AI picture? Kelly better stop fronting. Yeah, ain't no future in you fronting. You say, I don't care for Angela and Charles. They were here when the Knicks beat the Spurs at the home. Yeah, he really, wanted to be at that game. I guess. I'm glad he got a chance to see the game. And they're a good looking couple. You know what I'm saying? Charles is an old silver fox over there. And, he's probably finally set his ass down. Maybe, maybe not. Because Shamia said he'd be outside when she be outside. But that's neither here nor there, child. Um, should Portia have given K Michelle the heads up about dating her ex? I actually see this both ways. I see K Michelle thinking that if you was dealing with this guy, especially since she's still talking to him, um, she's still talking to the man, and then both of y'all are having conversations about the show, and then he says that he, kicking it with Portia or what have you, and you might think like that's weird that she didn't bring it up. And the way K Michelle is paranoid about things. And then I can see Portia being like auditioning niggas for, the part of her boyfriend while she tries to sway this lady Sway away from her fiance. And she went to the African, and I don't know. I did the African thing already. They're just going to talk about Simon. So she went and got Mike from Country Wayne, and they're like, the girls are going to think he's hot, and that it's a possibility. We know that, like, it's like Phaedra said, he got the money for the pussy and the money for the pussy. I don't think Mike got the money for the pussy. So he just was over there, for entertainment purposes. And yeah, I feel like I could see it from both ways. And the way K Michelle, just like Portia said, which K Michelle are you gonna get? K Michelle might have flipped out and been like, "Why?" Like just like she tried to distance herself from what's that man's name? That Drew is dating the Black. Just like she tried to distance herself from Black, maybe she's trying to distance herself over here too from the African man. And the way K Michelle and her husband have a relationship, child. She said she's never gonna leave her husband. And she said she's not gonna let a few strokes get in the way of what she's built, which I don't understand because she had a different fiance. Unless you just use the other person to get, her current husband to go ahead and pop the question, even though she says she was the one that didn't want to get married. It's hard to keep up with K Michelle and the things that, she be saying. They said her tweets don't match her conversations. She'd go over here and be like, okay, we cool, girl. And then she'd go tweet and call you a bimbo. So she said she was live tweeting like if she was in, she thought she was doing something, girl. And he said, don't do that. I mean, basically, that's what he said. He said, that's a bad idea. K Michelle said, when you have these surgeries that, you might want to have to let your man go ahead on out. If you sit down and your booty leaking, we don't know how long that's going to take to heal. Gotta let the man do what he's been doing. Or, anyway, you said, what has she built in a few months that... Maybe she's including all the years. I don't think she's including talking about the few months. I think she's talking about the relationship that he and her share. So I'm gonna go ahead. That's the only thing that makes sense. She's also delusional. I'll agree with you on that. It's just she's also a Pisces, I believe. I didn't look it up, but I think her and Portia are both Pisces. So yeah, they're being delulu a little bit. Shout out to the Pisces. I have given birth to two. I know them very well. Who is Carrie? Andy asked, I think it's K Michelle. I did voice notes, so he asked K Michelle what would she have done differently, and she said allow things to happen rather than trying to jump in front of it. So she wouldn't have been down in Dallas talking about y'all are plotting and planning and planning and plotting. So now she feels silly about that. And she said, not listening to outside noise. They want to like say that Shamia was the one telling her things, but we all know it was Jason Lee because I feel like she sat on the couch and he told her that people had called him and asked about her. So, and some hairstylists and stuff, but I don't know why they get mad about that because I feel like that's what happens when a new person is coming to the show. Somebody tried to pull that same thing with Candy. When a new person is coming to the show and it's just normal to ask about her. I just, you know what I'm saying? And they was asking around about me. Yeah, because they've not worked with you, so they must see how you are. But I feel like that's not, ask about me. They'll tell you. You said, I hate it when it's obvious that Andy has his favorites. He does. And he never pressed them about anything. Yeah, he just let Portia go over there, like ascending, happily go after, talking about Sway and, sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to let you know on the internet. I feel like everywhere I've seen Portia, and we're going to talk about the Ultimate Girls Trip a little bit after this. I feel like everywhere Portia has been, they were on Watch What Happens Live, and she was like real extra, like boisterous, and you only hear her talking. She over here on Ultimate Girls Trip acting. She's doing a hell of a job acting. At least on this first episode, the trip gonna get spicier as we go, but we're not there yet. We're still talking about K Michelle. K Michelle talks about her relationship with Shamia. She says she doesn't like to see anybody bullied, and I feel like she's standing on business. In this season, she didn't go in on Shamia about anything that was going on over there. She did say, I don't like to see everybody picking on one person. It don't make sense. So, yeah, next week, K Michelle and Shamia, they're going to go at it. So whatever their issue is, her mama was out in these streets calling Portia a floozy and things. I believe it. Them mamas, both of them, they created this situation. Cynthia Bailey comes to the stage dressed like, the Phantom of the Opera, and Phaedra and Pinky go at it. That's odd. And aren't they sorority sisters or something? Or no, that's Pinky and K Michelle. Phaedra didn't pledge no damn where, did she? I would be surprised if she did. Something else happened over here. K Michelle bully Tamar. That's another Pisces. Them Pisces need to stay away from each other. Oh, I don't know if it's possible to bully Tamar. I think Tamar gives as good as she gets. Because she stay fighting somebody. K Michelle just one of many. What else was going on? Fangela. Oh, what's her name? Shamia has something to say, y'all.
On this cast, actually tried to fight me.
What you mean?
Like, nuck if you buck.
No, physically?
Yeah.
For real?
So when you find that out, you'll know which one I think should go.
Hold on, who tried to fight you?
Well,
what they look like?
You'll hear about it, part 2 or 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion.
What size they feet?
Little teaser.
Not what size
you
their
got a
feet.
little teaser from me.
Okay, so someone tried to physically fight. We gonna see it on the show. We gonna see it on the reunion.
If you buck me. And you will hear about it on the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. And you will know then which one that was and why they are now so mad.
I hope you're coming after them.
Well, no, because I don't fight. I like to turn up to Nuck If You Buck by Crime Mob. Shout out to them. But I do not like to actually Nuck If You Buck.
Okay, yeah. We keep it classy.
I'm a cop.
Call the law.
I'm a call security on you.
Every time.
Well, somebody on this.
So, it says exclusive Real Housewives of Atlanta star Portia Williams and Shamia Morton almost came to blows during their cast trip in Scotland, but Drew Sidora broke it up. That was a long time ago. I mean, that's when the season started. That's what they said. So we'll see, child. Anyway, let me run through this Ultimate Girls Trip right quick. Are you watching? I'm watching. It was entertaining or whatever. Let's get into it right quick. It's a fun little distraction, mix it up a little bit. So Nene Leakes in the first episode, you said Shamia is so unbelievable. Hey, high vibe, child. I'm running out of gas. So Nene Leakes was in the first part of the first episode, child. We're gonna open the show with Nene Leakes. That's what we doing. She came by Portia's house. She gonna help Portia, get packed, talk about the trip, talk about who all going or whatever, in her little two-piece. The people would probably say Nene look good. Nene look good. I guess. I kind of feel like it's kind of like Marie Monroe to some extent. I don't know. These girls be so damn glamorous just doing nothing. And she's over here filming a TV show. So anyway, yeah, Nene's here. I think it's interesting that she's the first housewife we see. 20 years of the housewives. And the first housewife you're going to see is Nene walking up on Portia's house to say what's up. We're going to talk about this, trip. Not watching because they teased us with Nene. Nene was in the first episode, child. I think there will be enough Nene to satisfy whatever it is you need. But I'll be here to let you know. Like I said, they're sitting here discussing the ladies, and the trip starts in OC because Vicky Gunvalson is the OG of the OC, and she over here, she started it. Now some of them was over there saying they started it, and I'm like, girl, we know this was Vicky Gunvalson, the birth of the housewives. So where else will we start? They start arriving to wherever Vicky had planned. She running things, she hosting. Kyle comes, Portia comes, Luann comes. Child, they had Luann in a confessional because Portia asked, one of them asked, is she still the Countess? You said always using black talent, Nene and Roy, to put housewives on the map. At High Vibe, at this point, it's just something that we're going to have to accept as a people. And so while we're moving along, child, don't get me started. We'll be down to the Civil Rights March. We're supposed to be on the girls' trip. Luann, they were asking Luann, like, do we still get to call you Countess? And Portia's like, yeah, you're Countess. Once a Countess, always a Countess. The Countess said she just Countess from Connecticut, like Jenny from the hood. And I cried, child. No, she did not sit up here call J-Lo Jenny from the hood, child. Jenny, did you know you're from the hood? Ooh, it's so wrong and so funny at the same damn time. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. Not Jenny from the hood. She the one wanted to be from the block. What does that mean? From the block or the hood? Can we separate the two? I'm just saying, I'm guessing the hood don't have to be the block. It depends on what block you on. But when you're a countess, it all sounds the same to her. I'm dying. Vicky hands out gift bags that included insurance policies and, wanted them to just sign up with her company. Girl, that's weird. That's weird. They brought back the jailbird Teresa. They did. Teresa is funny on these shows to me, though, because she low-key be kind of gangster for real. Like, when they, she's not going to let you son her, Vicky. So I would say that's probably not the best plan. You said to white people, black and Latina is the same. Yeah. He said Jenny was from the hood, child. I was like, no, she didn't. Woo. Anyway, after Vicky tried to get these ladies to sign an insurance policy, she has a yacht day planned. It's cute. Everybody dressed like they don't know where they're going. So I hate that. Like, tell me what's up. It's the OC. I'm assuming they should have been comfortable. Vicky is the one that planned it, and she got on that jumpsuit. But if you notice, your girl is going to be front and center of everything. You got Portia and Giselle. Look how they're not even dressed like anybody else. This is Vicky's trip, and Vicky is on the end because who is Andy's darlings? It's Portia and Giselle. So, and Teresa, but Teresa, she don't have on something colorful. But I feel like every picture that I've seen of these girls' trip, it's always Portia and Giselle in the middle. Yeah, child, they got on this yacht and they had life-size cutouts of all of them, like from what they used to look like. And they were like, oh my God, look at you. Everybody looks so different. But nobody wanted to really like it. They was like, ooh. Everybody had their old noses and old teeth and everything. Teresa had her her old hairline. And Vicky gonna say, I feel like Teresa changed the most. And Teresa didn't like that. And I know she was like, bitch, now how you sat up here and got your whole face changed, Vicky. And, Luann was like, ooh, Vicky is kind of like Ramona. She just be saying shit and not thinking about what she's saying. I'm like, not after you just said Jenny from the hood, but it's okay. You were talking to her directly. Yeah, let's see. They start reminiscing. They're, enjoying the ride. It's a nice boat. They start reminiscing about their biggest moments. And Teresa starts sharing her story about when she got locked up and how that whole thing happened. Teresa, she still said I had to go away. She still can't bring herself to say it. But she starts sharing her story about what happened. And she said, her husband had her signing these papers on the refinancing of the home, and he hadn't paid taxes in 10 years. And she's his wife, and they all sit up there. I believe her because they all sit up there. And I don't know. My husband takes care of everything. And then, next thing you know, he locked up. I'll never forget Teresa coming to that furniture store with $100,000 in cash. Oh, goodness. Teresa changed the most because she has a... Hell, now they all got a rap sheet. Not just her. It's, a housewife thing. She just was the leader of the pack. Anyway, while Teresa is telling her story, Vicky takes the moment. She got to the part about how, he hadn't paid taxes. Vicky started bamming on the table and no. And you have to, she had a whole speech to that lady about financial literacy. They was looking at her like, bitch, we don't usually get to hear this story. Finally, Teresa is telling it and you want to interrupt her about some, pay your taxes? Teresa's lips are quacking. To me, those New Jersey ladies and the Rhode Island ladies are very hard to look at. And those Salt Lake City ladies can be hard to look at too. But sometimes it's like, I can't even look at them because their face looks so weird. Them New Jersey ladies was over there doing the absolute most. Anyway, they ended up having a twerk contest. Why? Portia was just showing off. This is why they hate us. Portia was over there showing off. That could not nobody twerk. We know Giselle can't twerk, but that Kyle was staying in the game. Shout out to Kyle. She can't twerk, but she could do the split, so she could get low. She was up and down, up and down. Portia said she loved to ride. I love the way you ride. I just made that up. Vicky should have stayed married to Don. Don, I feel like, is happy to be free, and Vicky knows that too because every time she talk about Don, she on the OC this season, she back for 20. She said because she got a new man, she's not coming over here without a boyfriend, even if she got to buy it. But she said she ran into Don over there in Mexico because that's where she got a house now. And she was talking to Don and forgot to introduce him to her new man. She was she knows. I think that's probably her biggest regret. Kyle know how to drop it like it's hot. It was so funny. Yeah, I'm not mad at you, Kyle. And I think that was a fun place to start. Like we over here, we twerking, we dancing, we going back down memory lane, and then Vicky, Teresa said they were in the car talking about how nice it was. And Teresa was like, it reminds me of New Jersey. Vicky was like, does it? Yeah. Teresa, that does not remind you. OC does not remind you of New Jersey. Cut it out. Um, so the ladies get back to their hotel. Vicky is planning a bunko party, 80s style, down to the Quiet Whisper Sister, or whatever the name of that restaurant is, where Shannon Bedore goes to, spill her tears. The Quiet Lady. That restaurant been around for a while because they've been going there. They keeping it, popular by always showcasing it. Giselle, what is happening? What is she supposed to be? Everybody was on 80s. I feel like Tamara and Shannon pull out that same shit every time they have an 80s themed party. Portia is dressed for just going to the gym. Nothing looks 80s about that. As maybe the eyeshadow, I don't know, but that was their era. Those girls like that big crimpy hair, and Tamara always shows up dressed like Olivia Newton-John, but they look a mess. And Bunko, don't none of them know how to play Bunko. Lou and Giselle did that hotel dating show together, so they already know each other. So they're roommates over in this hotel room. While she can get Luann is having a blast already just by her damn self. Lou told Giselle that Vicky is kind of a mean girl. The way she was slamming on that table while Teresa was trying to talk. And she said she was talking smack about Tamara. Now they carried this bone back, and the bone wasn't really what the lady said. Vicky says she loves Tamara, but she's afraid of what Tamara will do in front of the cameras because, Tamara is known to try to get her moment. And so I think that's just PTSD. I don't think that's her talking shit about Tamara. That's her like knowing how Tamara is. Like we all know. Giselle's like, Tamara is my girl. I just met Vicky. I don't know, but she about to start filming, season 20 with them, and I need to let Tamara know that Vicky says she don't trust her. And I'm like, you put a little sauce on it. I don't think that's really what Vicky said, but you know how Giselle do. She said she wanted to be the mean girl. You are. Y'all both the mean girl. You and Vicky both. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to see. Somebody going to be getting cussed out. I'm looking forward to that part. We down to the quiet, what's her name? The Quiet Woman. We down to who names a restaurant The Quiet Woman? That don't make me think of food or drinks. It just doesn't feel like, does that make you think of food? Isn't the name of your restaurant supposed to, entice you and to want to go over there and eat something like Juicy or, Hearty or some of these names that describe food. The Quiet Woman, it sounds like The Handmaid's Tale. I don't want to go in there. They might, make me put on a red hood and walk around with my arms folded. Ciao. All the old heads is there. Shannon Bedore and Tamara's there and Gina's there. Gina said it was about her family initially. Like she was really the first housewife. Gina, y'all was all on the season together. Joe was there. Joe has a completely different face. Yeah. Gretchen took her man and kept him, child. Heather is there. I don't know what Heather was dressed as either, child. They just went and found him a curly wig and threw something on. But yeah, they're all at the Quiet Woman. Vicky takes this moment to make a speech about how Slade ruined her self-esteem and how because of him calling her Miss Piggy, which I think is funny because Miss Piggy is fire. So that just goes to show like you just got compared to a bad bitch. I feel like if anybody could be insulted, it should be Miss Piggy. Because if I were her, I would not want to be compared to Vicky Gunvalson. But anyway, Slade broke her self-esteem. And she then had to have all this work done on her face. And she has a shrine put up with candles. And, they was like, what is happening? Is this sacrilegious? We don't want to. Portia said you could have just invited them over here. They still live in the OC. They don't know what is bunko. The OC girls are over there celebrating, and it was like somebody kept screaming bingo, and they kept going And everybody else was like, we don't know how to play this. And those OC girls are loud. Giselle and Portia were sitting at a table with Shannon and Tamara. And at this point, Tamara and Shannon are still at odds with each other. So Giselle, of course, is like, let me start this fire. So are y'all good? And Tamara went on talking, and then they started having a back and forth. And then, of course, Shannon gets up to walk away because she's like, girl, I'm not going to sit here and fight with you. Tamara was calling Shannon a drunk. She was drunk when she rode that car into that man's house. So I'm guessing, it's going to take some work for Shannon to undo the damage that she done. Let's see. Giselle gets a chance to tell Tamara that Vicky doesn't trust her. And I don't know how she translated what Vicky said. That's kind of what she said, but not really. You taking it and saying it in a way that wasn't like how, because she led the sentence with, I love Tamara. I don't care about the Tres Amigas drama. They were over there having that argument again about, we're the Tres Amigas. I guess, they'll figure that out, I guess, during this season. At this point on the OC, they're getting along. Shannon's still like, at arm's length as she should be. Giselle definitely did not relay the message the way it was said, but it's okay. And yeah, they ended the first episode with, dinner and cheers and cake. So it was a cute little introduction. I'm going to be over here watching, and I'll be over here on Tuesdays to let y'all know that's what it is. Before I go, you said that felt produced. Giselle will do what she has to do. Yeah. Well, she has to do that because Giselle don't have anything going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing interesting about Giselle. So she'll go around and, Luann is funny as hell. So I feel like Luann and Sonia, Vicky and the Tres Amigas, it's not the same thing. And, yeah. So we'll see what Giselle do. I can't really even pick. That's funny. I can't even really pick Giselle out of the crowd. It's just Portia. It's just Portia and them other ladies. That is so hilarious. Yeah. So before I go, Love and Marriage Huntsville is back. Let's get this down. Love and Marriage Huntsville is back, and child, Miss Ariane has made her way over to the screen. The people asked for Ariane. Melanie Cherie is out, and let's see what she in a child.
You guys just agree to $90 a square foot. You ain't got to be thinking about certain things that you guys not even familiar with.
These things is the only builder at the table. Been in this thing for 20 years. I'm simply better than you.
Okay, bro.
We're trying to elevate the neighborhood. We lost the damn house.
Are y'all joking?
He better not ever say he better than me at nothing.
I have a plan. It's called Wildly Successful Monster.
High school going?
Yes. University said, hey, I don't think school's for you right now.
At the end of the day, Maurice, maybe you're not the best guy to teach him.
Martell, he stepped out his marriage, he cheated. She was pregnant.
I mean, how can you just mess your family up, huh? What made you want a relationship with a married man?
This girl came in and messed up that family. That's my best friend.
I thought he's Destiny's best friend. I think there has been some feelings developed between Martell and Destiny.
If I had $1 million to bet, have Martell and Destiny messing around, my money's going towards that. Give me my payout.
I never had interest in Destiny like that.
You tried to put your son in Maverick School, and he didn't get in.
Talk about my son.
Get out the way, because this is about to get ugly.
Let's go.
Love and Marriage Huntsville. New season, Saturday, September 12th, 8/7 Central.
Her dreams have officially come true. We thought Shantae was glad. We got Coleslaw is over here down to the big screen. Carlos, you said, did the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast ever get a break for filming? It don't feel like it. It feel like after the reunion, the cameras go up. Yeah, she finally gonna get that check. I mean, at this point, they had Martell walked around all season, last season, with her face on his shirt. At this point, they had Martell over there meeting around. They weren't. If you're gonna keep him on the show, it only makes sense. Mel is gone, and it is what it is, child. All $500. Oh my God! Well, the people did say that they don't be paying over there on Carlos Kingdom Reign Entertainment. I don't work there. I don't know. But yeah, so no Ken, no Trisha. We don't have to we don't have to do that necessarily. But this girl, we gonna see, child. And then she was over here. She got Destiny standing up, girl. Anyway, y'all. That's it. That's all. I will see you in the morning, 10:30 a.m. for some coffee talk. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.